Hey guys, everything new under the sun. What does a GPS have to do with Flying Friday and quadcopters? Well, you'll find out in a second. I'm going to punch in a waypoint here, and we'll go on a bit of an adventure. 15 meters. Oh, I think I see it. Hey guys, everything new under the sun. The adventure today for the Flying Friday video is that I have to go and rescue my quadcopter. Now I've got my E-Trex, and this is why I showed you a video of that. Long story, well, I don't know if it's a long story or not, and I don't have any video of it. I went flying the other night. It wasn't quite dark yet. I thought, you know, the wind wasn't too strong on the ground, and I thought, well, I'd take it up, see how it goes, and of course I put a lot of faith in return to home. I said, well, you know, if I have any trouble, if the wind's different up there, I'll just click return to home, and it'll just return to home. But it got off going a little bit far away. I was about, I got near a half a kilometer, 500 meters, and realized I couldn't. Well, actually, I flipped return to home, and it tried. It was wobbling. I could still see it. It was up in the air, but in return to home mode, it was gaining, increasing distance. It wasn't coming back. The wind apparently was a little bit faster up above, and silly me, newbie mistake. Obviously, flying quadcopters. It couldn't fight against the wind that it was against, and the wind was just a bit stronger than it was on the ground here. So I lost it, and then it got dark. But anyways, I'll tell you the rest of the story here in the car. So, to continue the story, it is a sunny day. It's pretty warm. I think it might even be above zero. And we're going out. The project is to rescue my quadcopter. So of course, silly me, I flew off later at night, and it got to 500 meters, and it kept going, increasing. I had it returned to home. I shot the transmitter, figuring that was the first mistake, because if you shut off the transmitter, then it doesn't save your coordinates that I know of. Thankfully, though, I got that back. So I shut it off, and you know, it was in return to home for sure. I knew it was before I lost contact with it, because I could see it, and it was in return to home the whole time. And I'm just following my GPS here. It's not too far from home. It's about 300 meters away from home, actually. Actually, in this field here, I'm just looking. Let's see. Alright, so that's a house there. Ah, nuts. Yeah, it's in the, it's in a hedgerow, basically, and I have to go find it in a hedgerow. I was hoping that would be uninhabited, but it doesn't look like it is. That's unfortunate. Well, I'll have to go talk to the owners here and see if I can go rescue it, because I'm 140 meters away from it. I could trek up that way. I don't know how far away it is. Alright, I'll turn around here. I could walk up that way. I'm gonna go up that way, actually. Alright, so like I said, I'm 130 meters. So basically, it took off, and well, I started panicking. I was standing outside for probably 20 minutes hoping it would get back somewhere. I think it was losing altitude. It does that when it tries to go forward fast. It just simply could not fight the wind. But I think it's at the top of the hill here in a hedgerow. Show you where we are. Just a farmer's field there. I think it kind of clipped some trees, and it's sitting on the ground. When I looked on Google Earth, it was right in a hedgerow, right along here somewhere. So 74 meters away from it. Now, how I got the coordinates was I did shut off my controller, but I turned it on again after supper, see if I could get anything. Went around to the front of the house, and I saw some video flickering, and so I knew it wasn't too far away. It was just flickering, just faintest signal, and it got a lock or two. The quadcopter was still transmitting 40 meters away from it. So I was able to get the last known position of it. And that is the beauty thing about GPS quadcopters, is that as long as you don't shut off your transmitter, lesson for those of you, don't shut off your transmitter, copy down that top GPS location. 15 meters. Oh, I think I see it. Looks like it's in, oh, I think I might have broken a blade. Unless that blade's behind a piece of, oh yeah, I think I crunched the blade. And it was close, 8 meters away. And I'm 8 meters away from it. Alright. Shut my GPS off. Well, that was a successful recovery after losing a $400 quadcopter. Oh. So I drove all around trying to get signal from it. You can see it right up there. I drove all around, and finally I was able to get a ping from it. It was talking to my controller. And once it talked to the controller for a second there, it was able to get the GPS signal. And of course the other telemetry, the battery state and stuff. Battery's totally dead this morning. But there it is up in the tree. So I'll zoom out here. There's the ground. There's the quad. So if you lose your quadcopter, don't turn your controller off. Record that last thing, and then oh, looks like there's a big bird's nest up there too. Maybe a squirrel nest. Record it. If it does go to range, this quadcopter will actually slowly descend to the ground for you, so it's not going to absolutely crash, which is a nice feature. Is it? Is the blade broken? Yeah, there's a blade broken on it. I don't know if you can see it, the very bottom blade is broken. I don't see the other side of it, so yeah, it was in the wind, got pulled away by the wind, and then as the battery power, it was continuing to try and come up. Oh, here's the neighbor's dog. I wonder if the dog can hear me and smell me. I think he's right there. Anyways, it was continuing to fight the wind basically, and then it finally... Hey buddy, come here. Yeah, it was continuing to fight the wind, and then it just ran out of power and just slowly descended, so it didn't completely wreck itself. So I gotta go up there and rescue it now. Let's see if I can get up there. rescued it. So a little quick post-mortem. One blade broken. The rest of it looks okay. You can see it there. Got a few scuffs, but they might have been there before. It's got some snow on the motor. That's a biting wind. So yes, I was able to get a faint signal from it, get the GPS coordinates, the last position of it. I knew it was stationary, and the battery was low. So I came the next morning, and here I am, next afternoon actually, it's a Sunday, and I was able to march down the fence row and recover it. Whew. 400 bucks worth of toy I would have went down the drain if it didn't have the GPS functionality on it. And that is a handy feature to have. So there's a lesson for any newbie or an experienced quadcopter operator. Pay attention to the wind, and even if it's not too windy down at ground level, there may be some wind up top, and it certainly was. I knew it was a little bit gusty, but I didn't think it was sustained, so I figured return to home would bring it home. But it didn't, and man, my heart sunk. I stood out there for a while waiting, just hoping that the thing would return to home. I mean, the return to home feature is really nice. A real nice safety feature. But well, if it can't return to home because it can't keep up with the wind speed, I honestly had never thought about that. I hadn't really thought, you know, if I lose contact or whatever, lose control, I just thought, well, just flip it into return to home and, you know, the thing will come back to me. No worries. But like I said, if the wind's too strong, that thing ain't coming back. It'll try. It was trying its hardest to get back. I just couldn't do it, and I think I probably didn't have quite the best height to start with. So if I had a bit more height, I don't know if it, I think it might have been just a little bit lower. It came to the top of the hill and clipped the trees there. So, alright, well, get back in the car. We'll do a bit closer inspection here. Alright, you're up on the dash. So here it is. The blades, 3 blades are intact. The the motors feel fine. The nice thing about it is because when the battery gets low, it doesn't just kind of crash, you know, unless it hits a tree or something, which it did, but thankfully it was up on a branch, so that means it didn't come down hard. And it only, when it came down, I imagine this blade directly hit, that blade directly hit a branch, and that kind of put it out of commission. Absolutely. Now this motor still feels intact, apart from the blade, so I'll put a new blade on there. I'm going to let it dry out fully as well. It didn't rain overnight or anything. It didn't snow, so that was good. I wanted to get it before it, you know, rained or snowed. This one is packed full of snow. I think, well, because I dropped it into the ground. So I'll let that melt. Oh, there we go. Give it a dry out there. Everything is good otherwise. It's still plugged in actually. I should actually unplug it here. So, all right, well. Yeah, if you're lucky, you might see another actual flying video in this Flying Friday, but a cautionary tale. Let's see, battery looks okay. Looks okay inside. Not that I thought anything would happen to it, but if it had rained or snowed, this might have been cramped full, and it might might well have been $400 down the drain. So let's get it home dried out. Let's get this puppy charged up. Probably not good for it to be completely drained, and it would have been completely drained because it was plugged in all night long. So, alright, well, job well done, and I honestly, I prayed for the return of it, and Lord answered, because when I went out again, I actually got the second signal where I because I had turned off my controller and didn't have the GPS coordinates. I got the second signal and got those GPS coordinates again, so thank the Lord for that. He even answers prayers when you know, it's a stupid, when it was due to the stupidity of man, due to the stupidity of me to fly and not check the wind properly. He even answers those prayers. So God is good. All right, well, I'll get this home dried out, and I'll probably do a follow-up, see where we're at, and see if it still works. Well, so that you're not in too much suspense, I did get back home and let it dry out, got the battery charged up, and put a brand new fresh blade on it. I should really put a couple more fresh blades because they were a little scratched up, and it affects lift a little bit, but more so it's going to create more jello because there's going to be a lot more vibration in the motors in general. So for the video, it's going to be not as advantageous. So yes, to sum up, it did work after this. Thankfully, I didn't waste $400. I was really worried about that. So thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you guys in the next video.
Over.